All right. So it seems like the Lord has me on a roll. So I'm going to talk to you guys about my reasons for not drinking. There's a lot of Christians who have a lot of different outlooks on what drinking is, if it's a sin or not. The Bible doesn't say that it's a sin, but the Bible just says don't be drunk. So if you are not drunk after drinking, then you're good. But honestly, with that, there's always a debate about drinking. And I was one that felt like Jesus turned water into wine. I believe that there were plenty of scriptures in there where people are drinking and it's okay. You're supposed to have a little bit of wine for the stomach and it's okay as long as you're not acting crazy. And that's what I did. And I really enjoyed drinking. I would not consider myself a drunk because I was never one to just be out there falling all over the place. But I enjoy drinking. I love some good music, good company, and getting my drink on. And I mean, I love Long Island iced tea. That was my drink. I just need one tall glass, sip on that all evening, and just be rocking, and I'm good. So I did that, and then of course, if you're hanging out with your friends, you did your shots. Um, I loved a lot of the little frilly drinks, but with the alcohol, I would get one of those really big margarita glasses with drinks, and I am okay. So, and then of course, what happens is once I got saved, or I don't know, I matured a little because I wasn't really saved then. I was like, okay, I'm gonna drink wine, and oh my goodness, there was some good wine out there. I started off in Germany with the German wine, and it was good. I felt mellow, I felt good. So you feel like, okay, well, you can have wine as a Christian. It's like classy. Um, but I like the feeling of being nice, aka drunk. Um, because nice is you're drunk. You're just in a very the early stages of it. Um, and so I just didn't understand why I couldn't drink. And I remember it was earlier this year, I believe, really early this year, or maybe late last year, when the Lord told me that I could not drink anymore. And I was like, really? It just really bothered me that I could not drink anymore because I'm like, well, what am I going to do? I don't smoke. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't smoke weed. I don't take drugs. And drinking was like cool. I always had a nice bottle in the refrigerator or depending on what it is. And, I'll sip on it and watch a good show or even clean it. I feel like, Lord, I clean even better when I'm drinking. So, but the funny thing is, before he told me that I wasn't going to drink anymore, the desire for it left. And so I had not had any drinks since last year. I would say the 4th of July of last year was when I had something alcohol to drink. And I hadn't had anything. And it was like, I remember the Lord was telling me to just throw out the little things because I would go and get these little daiquiris and I'll freeze them up and have them in the freezer. I remember the Lord having me very early before he told me I wasn't going to drink anymore to kind of get rid of them. But when I was throwing them out, my heart was hurting, and the Lord just told me one day that I won't be drinking anymore. I don't want you to drink. He was like, regardless of what everyone else is saying, I don't want you to drink. And I was just not happy. I was like, God, like, what else are you gonna take from me? That's how I literally felt. Excuse me. But you know what? In all of that, I don't have the desire to drink. I obeyed him, even though I was saddened. I obeyed the Lord and was like, okay, Lord. So even when I went out to eat or this stuff, I would get, something virgin. Get me a virgin, daiquiri. And, at first I was like, nothing's happening. But you know what? It's fine. I was like girly pretty stuff, but there's no alcohol. So I was doing it. I remember that would just be so weird to me. But in obeying God, he took the desire. But let me tell you what he told me. He said, one of the reasons why, well, I'll end with the main reason, but one of the things that he said to me, when you drink, just the same thing with most people. Why do most people drink? Because of the feeling. The feeling. And most people go to that feeling so they can relax. Most people go to that feeling so they can, to take the edge off their day. Some people go to that feeling to completely, drink and drown their sorrows. But the reason why most people drink is not the way that you go get water, you're just drinking it, or the way you go and, you're drinking a soda, whatever it is that you drink, you're drinking it and you're like, okay. Most people have there's this feeling that they want to have, this euphoria that alcohol gives that they are going for. And so they go into having a drink every evening or however. And one of the things God says, okay, there are people who, I'm having a glass of wine, but how many people can say, I just have one glass of wine? Okay? Because some people, it increases for them. They have more wine. They drink more. And even if you just have one glass of wine, for argument's sake, why is it, unless you're a person who has heart problems and the doctor says to have a glass of red wine to help you, most of the time there's this feeling that you desire that wine produces, and that is what makes it a sin. Because it's a flesh thing that's happening. For me, the Lord just let me know. He was like, I'm going to use you in the area of the prophetic. You can never have a drink. You can't have any type of wine, anything that alters your mind, alters your mindset, even just a little bit. And as long as you're in the area of prophecy and the areas in which I'm going to take you, and the way that God has been using me to give people his word and to say certain things, he says you can never have strong drink. Kind of like sex. So I was really, really, upset at first. But then what God did when I obeyed him, like, even though it bothered me to throw away my drink and my bottles and my whatever, he blessed me and without me knowing, took away the desire altogether. So my lips, my mouth no longer tremble, and my mouth don't start to fill up with water when I see alcohol. All right, not that I was doing all that anyway, but the desire is completely gone. I don't miss it. Now, I'm not going to be crazy enough to be, testing the waters. I know in all things I still have to keep my flesh under subjection, because whatever you used to do before you got saved, it's still in there. So you just have to always make sure that you are in God's presence. The thing is, stop trying, and this is going off a bit, but the thing that, no, you know what, I'll stick to the next video. So that was my thing. This is why the Lord told me that I couldn't drink, and I've stopped. Those of you, if God hasn't dealt with you in that, totally dismiss this. This doesn't apply to you, but that's how the Lord dealt with Arlene. And if I'm really honest with it, I was using that alcohol anyway to cover a lot of things that I was feeling on the inside. It made me feel good. It made me feel better, and then it was just fun to drink. So, all right, guys. So that's my little snip, whatever the word is, my little bit on why I don't drink alcohol and how the Lord dealt with me about that. Okay? Bye.